Alrighty, welcome guys to the YouTube live stream. Today we're going to be streaming from 2 to 3 p.m. The main theme is going to be the Go series and the JP series. So we'll start off with a quick introduction of myself, and then we'll talk about ICECO as a company, and then we'll move on to the products themselves, in which we'll be doing demos and showcasing two different specific series, and we'll finish it off with a closer. So once again, appreciate your guys' support for hopping onto this live stream. So once again, good afternoon to those who are going to be watching the live stream currently, and then good day to those who are going to be watching the live stream later throughout the day or on a different time frame. First things first, for those who don't know, my name is Hayden. I work at ICECO in tech and customer support. So pretty much my main role would be helping with diagnostics and repairs on fridges. So I do hands-on work, whether if it's physically technical, and then I also I handle a lot of the over-the-phone diagnostics through email, social media, Facebook, all the above. I'm pretty much in several platforms talking about how people can help fix their fridges, or trying to help with certain degrees of diagnostics and repairs. So really that is what I do here at ICECO, and obviously I do the live streams as a side gig, so that way I can pretty much use the opportunity to talk about the fridges, the features about them that people may or may not know when they first look at the product, or if they're just hopping on, they want to see a product that you know, they're not too sure about, or they want to see what it looks like physically, then the live stream really helps with providing a good amount of information in which you could use to make your decision when you are looking to buy a portable fridge and freezer. So in fact, let me just go ahead and pull up the live stream myself. That way I'll be able to see you know, any questions, comments, or concerns you might have, and then we will go ahead and start off our live. Let me just go ahead, look for it real quick, guys. 1 second, and we will get started. All right, perfect. So here at ICECO, our main goal is to make and manufacture you know, portable fridges and freezers as a substitution for the traditional ice cube coolers, right? So for the original coolers, they're great, they're cheap, but the problem with them is that you can't optimize space. You have tons of ice cubes in them, and you can't ensure that your food is frozen at the right temperatures or are going to stay cold, especially if you're going to be gone for longer periods of time, or if you're going to be outdoors in hotter climates or more humid climates, in which could influence the temperature of those coolers. So really, the coolers are great. The best part about them is the low entry price, but the cons about the ice cube coolers is that you really struggle to keep your food at a right temperature. And if you're taking frozen items such as ice cream or other products that are really sensitive to temperature, then it becomes very difficult to make that reality. And that's where we come in by offering basically a luxurious alternative. It's a portable fridge and freezer. They come in all different shapes and sizes, ranging from 20 liters all the way up to 90 liters. And then we offer single zone fridges as well as dual zone fridges, in which you can adjust the temperature for both zones independently, however you please. And really, yeah, and then each fridge has its own set of unique characteristics that make them different from each other. So obviously the main theme is going to be Go series and JP Pro series. So obviously we're gonna dive right into the first product, and that is going to be the Go series. So actually I'm gonna go ahead and pull up a fridge, which is going to be the Go 20. So the first one is going to be the Go 20 Gray. For the Go series, we offer them in two different colors. So you have the gray as well as the white. And for this one right here, I have a cover on it, but I'm actually gonna go ahead and take this cover off so I could talk about the fridge first, and then we'll talk about the accessories that you can get with the Go series. So right here, Go 20 Gray. First glance, as you can see, it's very round, and it's a 20-liter fridge, you know, because in the name, the way it works for our classifications, we have the Go series, APL series. That would refer to the certain model of the fridge, and then right after it, we would have 20, 40, 45, 60, which would refer to the liters of storage space on the inside. So here for the Go 20, it is very small, it's very lightweight, and that's exactly what its intended purpose is, because for the Go 20, we want to make sure that it is very easy to take out of your vehicle and put in, and we wanted to go for a more versatile design, something that's more pleasing to a lot of people who are just looking for a very simple cooler to take to a local picnic, to take to soccer practice, or just going to your local beach. Really, the Go series fits the profile of all of those activities, and it can serve you really well, especially in those kind of endeavors. So first thing, on the exterior, you are gonna have a DC and AC plug-in right over here. So it's all gonna be right here. It's designated through DC, so you're only gonna be getting around 12 to 24 volts of power, but our fridges are AC and DC compatible. So that applies for all of our fridges that we sell. They're AC and DC compatible. You plug them right through the side here. They're gonna have handles built into the Go series right over here. So you have these little, basically a segmented area to put your hands. That way you can lift up the fridge, take it from point A to point B. For the lid, it's going to be soft closing. Basically, you just close it and it'll soft close like so. Nice little feature we have for the Go series. The main part is going to be the interior, right? So for the Go series, we do offer them in a single zone and a dual zone. I would recommend you guys go for the dual zone because for the dual zone, they're actually a removable dual zone in which you could pull out the divider and you could use the entire space as one single zone. So really for the dual zone, you have the benefit of a single zone as well as the added benefit of being able to use your fridge as a dual zone fridge. So single zone and dual zone functions. The removable divider is very easy to take in, put in and take out as well. You are gonna have one LED light for ambient lighting to be able to see what you're doing, what you're grabbing. And then your functions are gonna be right on top of the fridge, right in your face when you're ready to use it. So in fact, let me just go ahead and grab a power bank. I actually don't have one with me over here. Let me just go ahead and grab it. I'll be back in 1 second, guys. Let me go ahead and grab that power bank. Alrighty, so made a quick little journey, grabbed myself a PB250, an item which we do sell on our official store as well. I highly recommend you guys go look at those as well, because personally, having something like a PB250 or a small battery pack to power your fridges makes your life a lot easier for charging any external devices or just powering the fridge in general. Really, when you want to take something like the Go 20 out and set it on a table and you don't have access to an outlet, or you want to make sure your ice cream is frozen, having something like a PB250 is great because you can always ensure the fridge is on and is at the exact temperature that you set for it. So for the Go 20, the operation is very simple. In fact, it's the simplest out of all the fridges that we sell. To adjust your temperature, all you have to do is just tap the arrows on the fridge. So you have up and down arrows to go up or down. You can either tap them to adjust your temperature. So as you can see, you just tap it like so. Or if you want to, you can actually just press and hold and it will go all the way down to 0 degrees Fahrenheit. And that applies for both zones. So for the large zone, you can go all the way down to 0. Same goes for the small zone as well. Now for the temperatures, these zones are going to be marked. You're gonna have an R next to the right zone, and then you have an L labeled for the left zone. The L is going to be the small zone that you see right over here, and then the R is going to be this large zone where I'm also highlighting too. Now the next function is going to be this little snowflake that's included on the display. When you press that snowflake, it essentially alters the compressor speed in order to fast cool the left zone. So when you press a snowflake, it'll actually highlight the left zone and have a little snowflake icon right next to it, in which the left zone, which is more geared for frozen items, the compressor will turn on, will work a lot harder and prioritize cooling or fast cooling that zone specifically. So say for example, you have your fridge, you just plug it into your vehicle, you just turn on your car, but you want to take ice cream to go to the picnic, local soccer game, or to the beach, and you're scared that the ice cream is going to melt and possibly, you know, spill all over your fridge, or you just don't want to deal with melted ice cream. What you can go ahead and do is plug your fridge in, press that snowflake button, throw all your ice cream into the smaller compartment, and it will essentially fast cool that zone, so that way it reduces the chances of the ice cream being melted while it's trying to get down to those set temperatures. All right, and then as for the Go20, really that's all there is to it. It's a very simple fridge. Entry price, I think we have it going on for $449 MSRP, so that's actually the original price. And then we are doing a little discount for the Go20 Gray, where we are offering the fridge at a discount. And you can also pick yourself up a cover with the purchase of a fridge for about $449. So really, you do get yourself a killer deal by getting a free cover or just getting the fridge for a discount. Some of the products are going to be linked on the YouTube, so if you want, you can actually go ahead and press the link right over here if you want to click on the product. First of which is the Go series. That's where there'll be the discount, and then you can actually browse the products through the link that way. Or if you really want to, you can go and head over to the Amazon or the ICECO official website, in which you can browse the products from there. Next thing I want to talk about is going to be accessories. So for the Go20, gray or white, we have a cover for it. Now my recommendation is that when you do have a fridge of any sort, whether if it's 20 liters, 55, or whatever size it might be, I always recommend using a cover. First of which, you'll actually protect the fridge itself, so you reduce scratches, possible dents, and other external damage to the fridge, which more or less will make your fridge not look pretty over the years of using it. So the covers have a functional purpose of protecting the fridge by acting as like an external casing. And one thing I forgot to show is that you see this space blanket interior right over here essentially acts as insulation. So it's added insulation for the fridges. So say for example, you have a Go20 right in front of me over here. Again, same scenario, taking it out to the beach. Honestly, the biggest factor is when you take this fridge and set it outdoors in direct sunlight. That's when you'll notice a potential drop in performance, because obviously you have direct sunlight beating on the fridge, and the fridge is completely just absorbing a lot of that heat. And now we do have environmentally friendly insulation throughout our entire fridge. So essentially it is a cooler, like a traditional cooler, even without the compressor being turned on or working. So it still does a good job at retaining temperature. However, with the sun constantly beating on it, if it's 105 degrees Fahrenheit or 100, and it's either super humid or dry, eventually that heat is just gonna, put wear and tear on the exterior of the fridge, and it's gonna make the fridge wanna work harder to maintain the internal temperature, whether if you have 0 degrees Fahrenheit or any refrigeration temperatures. So really the cover has the benefit of protecting your fridge from UV radiation and improving the efficiency of the compressor. So you'll notice somewhere north of a 13% boost in efficiency when you do have the cover added onto the fridge while it's being set out in direct sunlight, or if it's in a position where it's constantly being beat on by UV radiation. Now another added benefit is that you are going to have the inclusion of these D-rings on the side right over here. So if you wanted to secure your fridge down to either to a sliding mount, or you wanted to secure it to a drawer system, you have the benefit of these little D-rings in which you can use to secure it down and tie it down either to those kind of accessories, or just secure it to the floor of your SUV or your rig, whatever you're using to transport this fridge. So you have the benefit of being able to ensure that your fridge is tied down. Next, you are going to have the inclusion of pockets too. So you have a large pocket right on the back here. In fact, it happened to so conveniently fit a PB250 right into this little pocket. So in fact, you could just take a PB250 with you on the road, take it out of your vehicle, and set everything down on a table, and you don't have to reach and grab more items, set it on top of the fridge, try to play, try to play the balancing game, trying to carry your battery pack, accessories, all of your items on top of your fridge, not exactly going to be optimal there if you're carrying additional items. Especially if you're going to the beach, you're going to be carrying a lot of items, and having one person just carry the fridge with the battery pack and everything included in the pockets, it just makes it a whole lot easier to transport. So that pocket right over here. Now another thing is that you are going to have a sleeker pocket on the very side. Really the benefit is just you have a little bit more additional space. If you have the fridge set down on the ground, you want to have something like a fishing pole facing up, or you want to have anything just kind of like tucked into the side pocket. You can take stuff like external devices and tuck it away into this pocket. So it's just additional form of protection. Storage for your devices and whatnot. But the main thing is going to be this large pocket that's included on the rear. So I usually recommend covers, especially for smaller fridges, such as the Go 20, the APL 35, APL 20, just because you're going to be taking it out of your rig, putting it in. It's going to move a lot, it's going to get banged up against things, and having that added form of protection will help prevent scratches and will help improve the longevity and performance of that fridge. Now that's the Go 20 gray. I'm going to go ahead and just show you what the white looks like right over here. So this is the white, pretty self-explanatory. It's a pearly white color that we have for the exterior. As far as functions on the interior and on the display, everything's going to be the same. The only difference is just going to be the color. And then obviously we offer them in a single zone and the dual zone. Now, unfortunately for the white, we only have this priced at MSRP, so it's full price at the moment. So you are only going to be getting discounts on the Go 20 gray. So if you're looking for just a very lightweight portable fridge, I would just recommend going for the gray, where you get the nice little discount for the fridge, and you can use it however you please. So now one big thing about all of our fridges, I'm gonna go ahead and just put that out there right now while I have the chance, is that for our support, right? You purchase a fridge, it's $400, $500. That's pretty hefty for something that's just meant for cooling, refrigerating, or freezing your foods. It's a pretty big price, especially if you're making the transition from traditional coolers all the way up to actual fridges and freezers, or portable fridges and freezers. You would find that the initial cost is a lot more, but that also excludes the fact that the running costs for those traditional coolers, you have to constantly buy ice cubes and put them inside the cooler, or you have to constantly just wait to fill up your freezer with ice cubes and dump it in. And really, it's just not ideal, because in the long term, you are going to be spending a lot more money on ice cubes alone just to fill up the cooler. And really, you do have a much more efficient product when you do go with the portable fridge and freezer. So once again, for the cost, the other big benefit is that we do offer a 5-year warranty. So we have a 5-year warranty on the compressor and cooling side for our portable fridges and freezers. That's for all of our lineup, by the way. That's not just for the Go series. That's for the APL series, the JP Pro series. Every single fridge that we sell in our website, we do have a 5-year warranty for. So that's 5-year warranty for the compressor and cooling side, which would refer to these guys over here. So we do use these CCOP compressors, which are basically performance-based compressors. They're higher end than what you would see out there in the market traditionally. So they are going to be a little bit more pricier. Hence the reason why our fridges are going to be a little bit more up there than the other cheaper brands. But that's the whole point, right? We offer a more premium solution, like I mentioned before. It's luxurious and premium. Hence the reason why you would want to go with an ICECO, because it's a little bit more higher end than just getting like a fully plastic or a cheaply made portable fridge and freezer, because these will last you a lot longer. And on top of that, you have a longer warranty. So rather than 2 years, 3 years, you have 5 whole years in which you can use this fridge. And at any point, if you experience any sort of problems, if you call customer support, we'll start off with doing diagnostics, we'll do quick benchmark tests, and then we will start with parts replacement, right? We'll send out parts to replace certain components of the fridge. And if that doesn't work, then we'll go ahead and swap out that fridge or freezer with an after sales replacement, in which we'll send you another one, and then we'll take the old one back, and you are good to go to use that one for however long it lasts. So really the benefit is you have insurance, right? You have insurance that will last you guaranteed 5 years. And then there are cases where I've seen a lot of people have had their fridge for 5+ years, 6 years, 5.5 years, or just coming up on 5 years. So really the big thing when it comes to ICECO is that when you purchase a portable fridge and freezer, you're not just buying the product, right? You're also buying insurance and guaranteed insurance when you go with our lineup. So yeah, once again, quick iteration, 1-year warranty on the aesthetics, and then 5-year warranty on the compressor and cooling side. For the aesthetics, basically if you are carrying the fridge and you drop it, you break a corner, or it's a hard mounted component of the fridge and it's completely just cracked open, and within that 1 year we'll just send a brand new replacement, and obviously that 5-year warranty when it comes to the cooling and compressor side of the fridge. Alrighty, so that's enough of the Go series. I'm gonna go ahead and move on to a different series, and that is going to be the JP Pro series. First of which is going to be the JP30 Pro, in which I currently have wrapped in this cover. So in fact, let me just go ahead and just take this cover off. So I'll show you what the 30 looks like, and then we'll move up in size. Alrighty. This one's gonna take a minute because the cover is a little bit tighter than normal. So let me just quickly take this out. Sorry guys. So yeah, the process of installation and removal for covers is fairly simple. You are going to find that for the JP series, it's going to be a little bit more troublesome just because you have the wheels mounted to the fridge. But for every other fridge out there, it's extremely easy to mount these covers. All right, so for the JP30 Pro, as in the name, it's a 30-liter fridge, so you are going to have 30 liters of storage space. On the exterior, you are going to notice that there is a distinct feature, which is those wheels that are hard mounted to the fridge, along with this extendable handle, in which you could use to pretty much roll this fridge around as if it's your suitcase. And yeah, that's the biggest factor would be the portability of the JP Pro series. So it's very easy to load up your fridge with tons of drinks, cans, bottles, anything that's really heavy and you don't want to be carrying around from point A to point B. You're going to be walking a lot. Then having something like a JP Pro series definitely makes it easy to transport any of your drinks and items. Once again, another distinct feature on the JP Pro series is going to be this band that wraps around. So this is actually a metal band that goes around, also highlighted as a magnetic panel, in which if you take something like a PB250, it has a magnetic backing on it, in which you could pretty much just take this battery pack, attach it to the side, and then you can actually go ahead and plug it through 12 volt and run it to your fridge. So it's a magnetic panel just to help you organize any magnetic accessories, or if you have magnetic koozies, you want to keep your cans off the ground or off the top of the fridge, you can actually just connect it to the magnetic koozie and use it that way. Now for the functions of the lid is going to be quite unique. You are going to have a 2-directional lid, so you actually have a lid that opens up from the front side, and then you can also open it from the back side as well. And if you really wanted to, you can actually go ahead and pull both latches and remove the entire thing, and now you have easy access to the inside of the fridge. On the inside, you actually are going to have this basket right over here. This helps you organize all of your food and produce, and if you need to pull everything out at once, it makes it very easy to remove it and then put it back into the fridge. Next thing is that you are going to have a drain plug at the very bottom to account for any sort of spillage. If you spill water, drinks, anything of that sort, it's very easy to clean. Just go ahead and pull that plug out, run some water, soapy water, and you can clean the bottom of it. On the inside, you are going to have an extremely sturdy interior as well. You're going to have this textured metal, basically just reinforced to help with movement of cans, bottles, anything that could potentially ding up the inside of the fridge. We have this textured metal to pretty much enhance rigidity of the fridge. Now, for lighting options, you are going to have one LED light for ambient lighting to be able to see what you're doing, what you're grabbing, and then you are going to have one built-in UV sanitizing light. So one cool feature about the JP series, another cool feature is that this is the only series to have a sanitizing light built into the fridge. So essentially, when you have the fridge on, you turn it off. You want to conserve power on your external battery pack. You just leave it off for about a few hours, several hours. You come back to it. You notice the temperature is above 40 degrees Fahrenheit, 45, maybe 50, climbing up to 60. Once it starts climbing above 40 degrees Fahrenheit, that's exactly when the inside of your fridge becomes an incubator for bacteria. It's a breeding environment, especially if it's wet, if it's warm and humid. Bacteria loves to grow in those kind of conditions. And if you have food in there, that's when it could potentially spread onto your food or onto open packages. Now, the benefit is that if you do have this fridge plugged in, even after a few hours of use, hopefully it's empty, you didn't have any food or open packages, especially, you plug it in, and essentially that UV light will kick on. It's a blue light that pretty much shines through the entirety of the JP Pro Series, and it basically just, as the name, it does its job by sanitizing the inside of the fridge. Now, my recommendation is you guys always clean your fridge in between uses, especially if you use the fridge for one trip, you let it sit for a week or two, and you want to use it for another trip. Always clean your fridge in between uses, sanitize it with isopropyl alcohol or sanitizing spray. That way you can ensure it's nice and clean and it's good for the next time you need to use it. But once again, that UV sanitizing light just acts as an additional form of sanitation for the inside of your fridge. Under the circumstance, if you turn off the fridge for a little bit and you want to turn it back on and use it again. So that's a nice little feature we have for the JP Pro Series, because no other fridge in our lineup has that built into it. Right, now the next thing I want to move on to is the display. On the front side over here, you are going to have a display. It's going to be facing upwards, so it's pretty easy to see how to adjust your temperature. For powering options, you are going to have one DC plug-in on the front side, and on the rear, you are going to have most of your outputs right over here. So really, you're going to have one designated AC plug-in, one designated DC plug-in, and then you are going to have one USB port, which you can use to power stuff like your phone, external devices, and you can pretty much just use the JP Pro Series as a hub for that. Now, actually, let me just go ahead and power this thing on so I can show you what the display looks like. So it might be hard to see on camera here, but if you're really interested in how the controls work, there are lots of videos out there on YouTube that does, openings, like where they do unboxing videos, and they showcase each feature about the JP Pro Series, and that's usually where you want to go if you want to look very specifically about certain fridges. I more or less do a very general overview for a lot of our fridges. I won't be able to dive super specifically onto the display to show you how to operate it, but I'll be able to talk about the features that is included. So, as for the display, the fridge is going to turn on. As you can see, you're going to have white LEDs pretty much displaying your temperature, as well as your voltage that's coming in, your max and your eco mode. The UV light is on, so it's going to be a little red icon, pretty much shaped in the form of the sun. And then you are going to have the lettering of L, M, or H. So the first thing is to adjust your temperature. All you have to do is use the plus and minus sign, so you're going to have a little bit of an audio when you're adjusting your temperature. You can actually go as low as -4 degrees Fahrenheit. That's the cool feature about the JP Pro Series. Traditionally, a lot of fridges can only go as low as 0 degrees Fahrenheit. In our case, for the JP Pro Series, it can go all the way down to -4. Now, the next thing is that you are going to have a couple of their modes which you can adjust. Hold the setting button and now toggle the plus and minus sign. You can actually switch between max and eco mode. So eco mode is going to be your energy savings mode. So if you have the fridge plugged into an external battery pack, such as the PB250, or you have it running off of your vehicle when your vehicle is not on or running, essentially the eco mode will turn on. It will reach the set temperature that you have for the fridge, and then it will turn off for quite a long time, so about 30 minutes, I would say. It's up until it notices that there is a deviation by a few degrees, and by that time, the fridge will turn on again and go back down to temperature. So you actually see a parabola in which the fridge will be constantly turning on and turning off to help, just kind of like siphon a little bit of power and then stop. It'll preserve as much power as possible and then siphon a little bit of power, and then it'll just continually do that over and over again to pretty much help, preserve your external battery pack. So one cool thing about the modes for our fridges, for max mode, you would see somewhere north of 8 to 12 hours of continuous use out of this PB250, right? 250 watts of power. Something like the JP30 Pro, I believe, consumes somewhere north of 37 watts. And I think maintenance mode maybe around 30. It really depends, but that's continuous use, right? So 8 to 12 hours out of this guy, not even a full day. But 8 to 12 hours is still amazing when it comes to something this small. Where you can take that an even step farther is by setting your fridge to eco mode. And if you're only refrigerating items like refrigerating drinks, keeping snacks cold, then what you can go ahead and do is set eco mode, and you can actually use this PB250 for a lot longer. In my case, when I was in the desert, I managed to use a PB250 for about 4 days straight without even once plugging this 12 volt into my rig. I only used it, I powered off of this PB250, and it lasted me the entire duration. And I gotta say, that's absolutely amazing considering it's only a small little dinky 250 watt battery pack, and something where I was pretty much powering all my drinks, keeping them cold. It lasted me for the entire time. And obviously you can boost your efficiency by not opening your fridge and closing it so often, letting that cold air out. And also if you pre-cool the products that are going to be inside the fridge and pre-cool your fridge, you are going to notice that there's going to be little to no power consumption at the beginning when you do initially plug it in. So that's pretty much it when it comes to the JP Pro Series. Again, we are offering them in the 30, 40, and 50. Oh, sorry. We actually are going to have a couple other more features on the JP Pro Series. The next thing, other than the max and eco mode, you are going to have, you press the setting once more, you are going to see an L, M, and H. What that refers to is a battery protection mode for our fridges. So 99% of our fridges have this module built into them in which it monitors the amount of voltage that's coming in. As you can see, you can visibly see how much voltage is going into the fridge. So you can see I'm pulling 13 volts of power from this PB250 right over here. And really what that module does, it will continue to monitor voltage until it senses there is a drop. With this setting, you can adjust the sensitivity at which it trips. Now, when you do have this plugged into a 12 volt, say for example, it's your car, and it's pretty much going to continue drawing power as long as the car is in accessory mode or on mode. For some vehicles, the 12 volts might still be receiving power even when the vehicle is off. The fridge will continue to draw power until it senses it gets under 12 volts, like I mentioned, right? If it senses that there is a spike all the way down to maybe 11 volts, 10.9, just even so much as a little drop, the fridge will turn off in order to protect the external battery that's being used to power the fridge. And when you come back to your rig or you wake up, if you're sleeping, whatever situation you might be, you come back to your rig, you notice that the fridge is off. You go ahead and go over to your vehicle and you can go ahead and crank it over. So really, 12 volt accessories are notorious for draining batteries, right? I personally had to deal with it. It's not a great experience, especially if those 12 volt accessories drain your battery all the way to 0 overnight. Now that's not exactly going to be ideal circumstances if you're going to be out in the desert or you're going to be engaging in any sort of activities where you're far from local civilization. Now you have to call AAA or you got to find a way to get a battery or get that battery jumped. And now you just create a whole set of complications, and what was supposed to be your nice camping trip has now turned into a stressful situation. And that's exactly why we have this module built into our fridges, is because it's going to monitor the voltage, and it's just basically acting as a safety net to protect your rig as well as protect the fridge as well. So That's obviously a nice feature. And obviously the low, medium, and high is just to adjust the sensitivity, right? Low sensitivity is going to be intended for your 120, your 110 volts, so your wall outlets, and then your high sensitivity is going to be geared towards stuff like the PB250 or your car 12 volt or cigarette lighter. And then obviously for our fridges, you can actually switch between degrees Fahrenheit and degrees Celsius as well. So you can pretty much just, if you want to go off of metric or if you want to go off of Fahrenheit, it's entirely up to you. We have the option to switch between those values. Now, here's one really cool thing about the JP Pro Series. Yeah, everything, features and all that, great, right? Having the wheels, amazing. It makes the fridge extremely portable, extremely lightweight. Now, another big benefit about the JP Pro Series, it is actually the only series of fridges to have a cover included with the purchase of the fridge. So for something like the Go 20, you would have to buy the cover separately, right? That'll set you back an extra $80. $100 for the bigger covers, $150. Depending on the size, it's gonna be extra money you have to spend. Now, if you're looking for a fridge that gets you the best bang for a buck, it doesn't consume a lot of space, and it's extremely lightweight and portable, I would say the JP Pro Series is extremely versatile in which you have wheels. If you're camping, if you do ground tent camping, you wanna go from your rig to your campsite, then you can obviously just put this on the ground and wheel it that way. If you wanna take it on the beach, it can do it. If you want to wheel it around town from one place to another, then you could wheel it from from that point. And obviously you are going to have the inclusion of the cover, which is another selling point I'm going to show in just a moment. So earlier I had the JP30 Pro with the cover mounted. And I'm going to go ahead and showcase a quick little installation right over here. So this cover, once again, like the Go series, it's going to have that space blanket interior for better insulation, and obviously it's going to double as additional protection on the outside. So really, let me just go ahead and place this right on. Now, installation is pretty simple. For the JP Pro Series, it's going to be a little bit more complicated just because it does have those wheels mounted on the outside, but all in all, a baby could put this together if they, so it's extremely easy to put together. And the next step is that you are going to want to feed the wheels through these little inserts, like so. Just make sure it's nice and snug. And then you go ahead and take this large flap, feed it over, and then it's just going to be secured with these zippers right over here, like so. There you go. So included cover with the purchase of a JP Pro Series. Now for this cover, you are going to have protection on the bottom, the top, and all four sides. And what's even better is that you are going to have all these cutouts for the vents, so you have efficient cooling, and you are going to have the cutout for this extended handle and the wheels that are on the back. So this actually does not hinder your ability to wheel your fridge. As you can see, you can use the fridge just fine without having to take off the cover or not being able to use it at all because you're afraid that the cover might get in the way of the wheels. Well, in fact, you can actually just put the cover right on and be able to wheel it from point A to point B just fine. In fact, you also do have the inclusion of these pockets on both sides. So you actually have a pocket on the right side, and you do have a pocket right over here on the left side. And it just so happened to perfectly fit a PB250. As you can see right over here, PB250 fits perfectly. You can actually attach it to the side, and then you could wheel it from point A to point B, no problem. So again, the cover's nice because it's included with the purchase of the JP Pro Series. And if you're looking for bang for buck, I think the JP Pro Series would be a great option. Now, we do offer these fridges in single zone and dual zone. The 30 I have right in front of me over here is only going to be single zone. As you move up to the JP 40 and 50 Pro, they are going to be offered in a single zone and dual zone option. Obviously, the dual zone is going to be a little bit more expensive. I think it's $100 more, if I'm correct, but obviously just check our website to verify. And then my personal recommendation would be to go with a dual zone again, because you have the ability to adjust one zone to -4 and the other zone to refrigeration temperatures. And obviously for the dual zone options, they are gonna have a removable divider. So you can actually pull out a divider and use the fridge as a single zone. Now the next fridge is going to be a JP40 Pro, just pretty much a bigger iteration of the 30. Some noticeable differences would be for the 40, you are gonna have a bigger band, a magnetic band for the PB250. So you are gonna notice that the PB250 is gonna stick a whole lot better to the fridge because you have more surface area to attach your magnetic accessories. And that's really it. For the JP Pro series, they are gonna have the exact same wheelbase. So length and width is going to be the same. The only thing that's going to be changing is going to be the height. So as you move from the 30 to the 40 and to the 50, you're pretty much just going to be adjusting height, in which you get more vertical space to stack, bottles, drinks, foods, whatever you need. And then, yeah, I mean, that's really it for the JP Pro series. Now, as for discounts, we are going to be having, I believe it's a 13% or no, sorry, 10% discount for the JP30 Pro and the JP50 Pro. Now, if I had to make a recommendation, I would just say go for the JP50 Pro because you are going to find that the JP30 Pro might not offer just quite enough space that you want to use, especially if you're going to be using the fridge to go camping. Then having something like a 50 Pro would be a much better option. Now, you might ask, why would you want to go for a 50 Pro when there's a 40 Pro, right? It's perfect balance right in the middle. Well, in fact, we have the 50 Pro going on for a discount, which is in fact cheaper than the 40 Pro. Hence the reason why I would just recommend going for the 50 Pro, since it is going to be considerably cheaper than the 40. So you might as well just get the extra 10 liters of storage space, and when you really need it, you need to store food, drinks, and items in that fridge, it's available to you when you when you go camping and you go outdoors. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is more accessories for the JP Pro series. So in fact, for the JP Pro series, we do have slide options. So you do have the ability to mount the fridge either to a drawer system or to a slide. Now, the slide that we sell is actually universal across the board for the JP Pro series, like I mentioned, because they have the exact same wheelbase. This right here is a slide intended for the VL45 as well as the JP Pro series. So honestly, for installation, it's very simple. You are going to have basically holes at the very bottom that would be used for when you want to bolt down the slide and hard mount it to whatever mounting surface is going to be accommodating the slide. And then as far as operation, it's very simple. All you have to do is just take this little handle, twist it, and then you can go ahead and slide it open, like so. Obviously, this is going to be hard mounted. If I just let go, it'll fall over. But pretty much, you have this handle, you can slide it all the way open, and as you can see, there's a pretty good range of extension. This is the first locking position. Press that handle again, and then you can fully retract that slide, and you're good to go. Now, another cool thing is that it doesn't move out of its position while you're off-roading, or if you're engaging in sort of activities in which there's a lot of bumps and you're changing speed frequently. So it locks into place, and the way you would secure the JP50 Pro or the JP40 Pro, JP30 Pro, any of those fridge models are going to be using these straps. So you have these tie-down straps for the fridge. It doesn't hinder your ability to use the fridge because that's the whole purpose of the slide, right? You have it in the back of your rig. Sometimes it can become cumbersome to reach into the back of your SUV or your truck trying to reach and grab your food or whatever you need. Having the slide makes it very easy. You bring the fridge over to you, and then now it's sticking out from your rig, in which you could pretty much just grab what you need and slide it back into place. So really, it's just for convenience and providing hard mounting solutions for the JP Pro series. And actually, let me just go ahead and pull this out so I show you what the straps look like. So this is going to be included with the purchase of the slide as well. So you have these lockdown straps. You're gonna get 4 of them. And let me actually just go ahead and pull one out to show you what it looks like. So yeah, this is exactly what the straps looks like. It's going to have these teeth that essentially hold onto the strap when it's secured. So really all you're going to do is just thread it through the handle like so. And then you can go ahead and take the strap and thread it through the these like little tabs that are inserts for the fridge, and then you can just go ahead and feed it right through here, and then just essentially tighten the strap however you please. And then obviously to make it even tighter, you can go ahead and pull it down, and now that thing is not going anywhere. Now that's just one strap. My recommendation for tying down your fridge would be 2 straps on each side. One strap for one corner, one strap for the other corner, and take it all the way down to this side, and same goes for the rear as well. That way you have more straps securing your fridge down, and you can ensure your fridge is not going anywhere or it's not moving at all. And then pretty much to release the strap, very simple. All you're gonna do is just press it in, and it'll just automatically release that strap. Go ahead and take that off, and you are good to go. So really, the slide is nice to have as an accessory for hard mounting your fridge, and providing you with, mounting solutions. It's great for more hardcore off-roading. You're taking more bumps, tackling rocks, and you don't want your fridge sliding around the back of your rig. You don't want it sliding and hitting your window. You don't want it sliding and hitting your trims, scratching them up. Or if you have any other delicate items, maybe camera equipment, or you have Starlink or anything of that sort, any items that are delicate, you don't want them moving so much, especially while you're off-roading. That's exactly when they are vulnerable to getting damaged or destroyed. And just having your fridge hard mounted down, especially considering the weight of this thing, you don't want it, moving off to the side and squishing a lot of your stuff. So again, hard mounting solutions, and yeah. So now the last product I'm going to talk about is going to be an accessory as well. So in fact, let me just go ahead and pull this off. So our last thing is going to be a solar panel, also named the SP80. This is a 2-fold solar panel. As you can see, you have 2 different divisions of cells, one on this side, one on this other side, and then it's going to be rated for 80 watts. It's going to be pretty much supplying you somewhere north of 80 watts. Might be a little bit less, just because that's that's what it's rated for. But obviously, that is dependent on how much sunlight it's able to receive. On the rear, you are going to be having a retractable stand, as you can see. So pretty much all you have to do is just flap it open, set it down like so. You are going to have these little magnets on the rear, which can be used as weights as well to keep the solar panel down. However, if it is super windy or it's hard to keep the solar panel facing towards the sun, you do have these 2 holes for each of these legs to throw stakes in. So if you throw stakes in, you can ensure the solar panel is a lot more secure to the ground, and it's not going to be going anywhere if it's windy or if someone bumps up against it. Now for the solar panel, they are going to be temperature rated between -4 degrees Fahrenheit and 140 degrees Fahrenheit. So that would mean for colder temperatures, as well as if you're in the desert, the solar panel will work just fine. Now, as far as durability for the solar panel, as you can see, we personally use this solar panel a lot. This thing has been out here for a few months, and we would take it to a lot of local shows, whether if it's King of Hammers, Rodeo X Rigs, or Sand Sports Super Show. Pretty much a lot of local shows and shows that are outdoors in dirt and sand. So pretty much this thing has gone through it all, and as you can see, it's still standing just fine, practically good as new. As far as the material, they are going to be pretty malleable, so it's not going to be like a thick frame or a super like brittle frame, I would say. It's easier if it's malleable. That way, if it gets bumped up against, or somebody hits it, or if it's in the back of your rig and it's getting turned, or if it's being moved. As you can see, these are intended for small amounts of flex. That way it prevents you from breaking off a corner piece, just basically additional rigidity and strength. Now, pretty much to close this thing, you are gonna have these 2 handles with these magnets built into it. So as you can see, very easy to transport, and you are gonna have this hard mounted bag on the outside. I really like this bag a lot because rather than just having the cable flapping around like so, you are going to have the ability to store it in this bag, as well as transport additional cables. So if you want more cables for your fridge, at least you know you're not going to lose it by throwing it into your solar panel bag or an accessory bag. Now a solar panel, it pretty much just has this cable that's built into it, and it goes right into your portable battery pack, whichever you're using. I would just recommend a PV250 like so, and it'll be able to charge your PV250 about 3.5 hours, no more than that. And then you can go ahead and throw this right into the bag. Now, why would you want a portable solar panel, right? What would be the need for an SP80 for about $139 on our official website? Like, what would be the purpose behind that? My say would be, if you're looking for charging solutions, right? You don't want to rely on your rig, and you want to be able to just, have autonomous charging, and you don't want to spend $500, $700 for hard mounting solar panels to your rooftop tent, to your hood, and that's just not your forte, right? Something like a portable solar panel is much more lower investment. The initial cost is cheaper, and you don't have to deal with trying to mount your solar panel, connect it to an auxiliary battery, or to trying to find a way to get the solar panel wired up. You just have something that's extremely low investment, and pretty much just take it out of your rig, set it down facing towards the sun, and charge whatever you need to charge with it, and then fold it up and you're good to go. So it's very portable, very lightweight, and it's intended for just a quick grab and go. That's exactly what this solar panel is intended for, rather than the more expensive hard mounting solution. Obviously, the more expensive hard mounting solution is going to provide more power, but if you're looking for something very light, very small, and you don't want something so crazy and spend so much money for it, then the SP80 would be a great option. Alrighty, so yeah, that's going to be all for today's live stream. Pretty much for our schedule, we do live streams on Amazon, YouTube, and sooner or later we are going to be doing live streams on Facebook as well. So if you are on the Facebook platform on ICECO Fridge Club, we are going to be doing live streams on that pretty soon. But if you're really interested about when I do these live streams on YouTube, go ahead and hit the subscribe button right above, or just head down to our channel. We have tons of videos, and then we have tons of creators out there who also support the ICECO products. They do unboxing videos, they do demos, and they take it through a lot of tests, and they talk about their experience with it. These are people who are pretty much already ICECO fans, right? These are people who have personally owned one, and we're not just giving them our fridge and they're just writing reviews on it. These are people who have used our fridges before they even heard about like ICECO themselves. They've used ICECO fridges, they've used other brands, and they talk about ICECO and their experience. So that's what I love about the YouTube platform. There's a lot of content creators out there who can provide you with their opinions, as well as information about these fridges. So yeah. For tomorrow's schedule, we are going to be doing an Amazon live stream from 2 to 3 p.m. So if you want to hear about that, go ahead and make your way over to the Amazon platform and hit the follow right over there. And obviously stay tuned for when we do these live streams on YouTube and Facebook to come. That's going to be a very big factor in the future. My name is Hayden. I'll go ahead and see you guys later, and I'll talk to you. See you guys on the next live stream. Peace out. Sorry, super awkward ending there, but we'll go ahead and fix it and work on that, guys. I'll talk to you later, guys. Peace out.